So I'm sitting here in the middle of the airport waiting for our flight to Chiang Rai. Wifey's over there. I don't know if you can see her. But I've been trying to get more videos off. Just kind of been a little busy. One thing I guess I've been trying to talk about was, I thought I was doing really well with dealing with some of my international clients, being overseas and dealing with some clients back home. I was gonna make a video about that, but last night I kind of messed up. I had a client or a potential client call me at about 2 in the morning in Thailand time, and I took the call, and maybe like she was explaining the projects that she wanted me to do and things like that, and she asked me how much it would be, and I quoted a price that was it was way too low, about half of what I should have quoted. And then she kind of moved on to another project. She was like, okay, so now what about this thing, blah blah blah. And kind of halfway through that explanation of that project, I kind of had to stop her, and I said, listen, I need to be honest with you. I'm out of the country right now. I'm overseas. I took the call because we had spoken before I left, but she actually had to go. Like, someone was coming to her door or something like that, and then she hung up, or she had to leave, and said she would call me back, and then didn't. So I kind of felt like, I lost a decently lucrative contract, a potentially lucrative contract, a client that was looking to come back for a decent amount of work. So when I saw that she was calling again, I wanted to take the call, but at the same time, it's like 2 in the morning, and I had been up dealing with some other stuff, so I really hadn't slept that much. So maybe about midway through her explaining the second project, I kind of had to stop her and explain the whole deal right there, and just be honest to say, listen, can I give you a call when I, actually get back to the States? And I mean, I'll probably send her a text message or something like that in the next day or so, once we're done traveling, to see if she wants to speak more, like when I'm a little bit more awake. And she was nice about it. She was totally fine. She was actually really apologetic, and then explained the thing that I just said about why she hadn't called back earlier, while I was still in the country. But I think that's, when you're trying to be, or not when you're trying, when you are an international lawyer and you're dealing with clients all over the globe, sleep is something that's so kind of fleeting. I've kind of given up on the idea of getting 6 hours at a time. And, I have a newborn, so I'm not really getting that kind of sleep anyways. But I've really given up on that idea of being able to sleep for 8 hours a day or 6 hours. I kind of get it where I can, because people are just constantly waking me up, and I'm constantly sleeping next to my phone. And I know it's not really the healthiest thing, but it's kind of the nature of the business, because that's the kind of law I'm looking to practice. I want firms all over the globe eventually. That's my goal. I want to have a firm in Japan, a firm in Bangkok, a firm in the Netherlands, a firm in London, a firm in New York. And I was talking to my wife. She was saying, if you want to be this kind of a lawyer, then you're not going to get any sleep, because business never sleeps, and so it's the truth. But I think that you do have to know your own limits. Like I said, I quoted her a really low price, and I'm not going to go back on that price, because then I'm going back on my word. But I had to stop myself before I quoted another low price and say, hey, I need to I need to get some rest. I need to talk to you later about this, and then kind of regroup. And I might try to get some more of that money back on the second project, but I mean, I can't charge her too much for that, because I made a mistake. So I made a genuine mistake on that. So I wanted to be more intentional about not always talking about the successes, but also being very intentional about talking about the mistakes that I made and things like that. So all that stuff is really important. Okay.